There's an island off South Carolina where 3,500 wild monkeys roam free, and you'll be arrested if you try to visit it. I stumbled on this at 2 a.m. going down a South Carolina rabbit hole. My cousin lives in Charleston, had no idea this existed, which is insane because it's an hour away. But that's not even the weirdest thing. There's a World War II bomber that sat underwater for 62 years looking like it crashed yesterday. Islands that are literally growing while everything else sinks. And facts that made me go back and verify 3 times because they sounded fake. Stick around till fact 34 because there's a phenomenon that only happens in one other place on planet Earth. If you're into wild geography, subscribe. We're doing all 50 states. Let's go. Number 1. Morgan Island, the Forbidden Monkey Kingdom. Morgan Island, 4,000 acres off the coast near Beaufort, completely overrun by monkeys. 3,500 rhesus macaques. They moved them here in 1979 from Puerto Rico for medical research. Now they just run wild. Here's the crazy part. You cannot set foot on this island. Federal authorities will arrest you, but you can take a boat close enough to watch them. I saw drone footage, probably filmed illegally, and it's straight up Planet of the Apes. Monkeys fighting on beaches, swinging through trees, living their best life while you're stuck on a boat in South Carolina humidity. It's the only place like this in North America, a forbidden monkey island that most people have no idea exists. Number 2, the island that's actually growing. Here's something that'll mess with your head. You know how everyone's panicking about coastal erosion, islands disappearing, sea levels rising, Florida slowly sinking? Capers Island didn't get the memo. This island is growing, actually expanding. It's gained over 100 acres in the past few decades, while every other barrier island on the east coast is shrinking. Ocean currents hit it just right. Sand deposits on the north end faster than erosion can take it away, so the island just keeps getting bigger. It's completely uninhabited, wild, and it's one of the only barrier islands on the entire east coast doing this. Everything else is drowning. This one island just keeps expanding. Geographic anomaly happening right now. Number 3, the World War II bomber frozen in time. April 4th, 1943. A B-25 bomber is on a training mission over Lake Murray. Something goes wrong. It crashes, sinks to the bottom, 150 feet down, sits there for 62 years. When divers finally pulled it up in 2005, the plane was almost perfectly preserved. You could still read the gauges, paint markings visible, landing gear down, machine guns still mounted in their turrets. I'm scuba certified, and the idea of finding something like that at depth gives me chills. That's the kind of dive you tell stories about forever. The cold water essentially turned it into a time capsule. Same thing happens with Great Lakes shipwrecks. Cold water, low oxygen, things just stop decaying. But here's what's even crazier. There's another lake in South Carolina with diving conditions so dangerous that even experienced technical divers have had close calls. That's coming up. Number 4, Lake Jocassee's underwater ghost town. Lake Jocassee in the Northwest Mountains, crystal clear water, 300 feet deep in places, surrounded by mountains, looks beautiful from the surface. But there's an entire town underneath. They built a dam, flooded the valley. The whole town of Jocassee went underwater. Roads, bridges, cemeteries, a resort lodge, cars sitting where people abandoned them. Divers go down and explore it, swimming through streets, looking into car windows, seeing gravestones in flooded graveyards. I saw photos from a diver who documented this, genuinely unsettling. Stop signs underwater, fence posts, a whole town just sitting there in the dark. An entire town, perfectly preserved, 300 feet down. Number 5, why Lake Jocassee is actually dangerous. That same lake, one of the most dangerous dive sites in South Carolina. Not because of what's in it, because of the depth and the cold. 300 feet is serious. The water's so clear you can see 50 feet down, which actually makes it worse. Tricks people into going deeper than they should. Then the cold water at depth creates perfect conditions for nitrogen narcosis. The nitrogen in your tank starts acting like an anesthetic, makes you disoriented. Your judgment fails. I felt early stages of it at 70 feet. Everything gets floaty, like being tipsy, but not fun tipsy, more like, I need to ascend right now, tipsy. So you're swimming through ruins of a drowned town, you go too deep, narcosis hits, and suddenly you can't think straight. Technical divers have had close calls here. One guy in a diving forum said his computer was screaming at him and the narcosis almost made him ignore it. Right now, there's a ghost town 300 feet down that only the most experienced divers explore. Number 6, the sinkhole that could open under you right now. Florence, South Carolina, normal day, Ground opens up, massive sinkhole appears out of nowhere, swallows a car, threatens homes. Geologists investigate and find the terrifying part. The whole coastal plain sits on limestone bedrock that's been dissolving for millions of years. Underground, it's Swiss cheese. Voids everywhere. Under streets, under homes, under your feet right now if you're in coastal South Carolina. They filled that sinkhole with hundreds of truckloads of concrete. But the voids are still there. Another one could open tomorrow. Next week, no warning. You could be walking on hollow ground and not even know it. Number 7. Waterfalls you can kayak to. Quick palate cleanser because that last one was stressful. Most waterfalls, you hike to them, not at Devil's Fork State Park. There are waterfalls there, some over 60 feet tall, that pour directly into Lake Jocassee. Not into a stream that flows into the lake, directly into the lake. You can kayak right up to them, paddle under falling water, feel the spray. I watched GoPro footage of someone doing this, and it's surreal. Just gliding across calm water, and suddenly there's a 60-foot waterfall right in front of you. One of the few places in America where you can boat directly to a waterfall. Number 8. The last free-flowing river. How many truly free-flowing rivers do you think are left in America? Not many. Almost every river's been dammed or diverted or controlled. The Edisto River, 206 miles, completely free-flowing. No dams, no major obstructions, just flows like rivers did before we decided to engineer everything. The water runs dark, tea-colored from tannins. It's a blackwater river, winds through ancient cypress tupelo swamps that look prehistoric. There are stretches where you can paddle for miles without seeing a bridge, or a building, or a power line, or any sign humans exist. This river's been flowing through the same channel since before recorded history, before ancient Egypt, before agriculture, before any of it. One of only a handful of rivers in the country that still does this. Quick thing, if you're loving these facts, hit the like button right now. I can see when people do that, and it genuinely helps push this to more geography fans. Also, which fact so far has shocked you the most? Drop a comment. I'm actually curious because some of these surprised even me. All right, back to it. Number 9. One of two places on Earth. There's a phenomenon in South Carolina that only happens in one other location on the entire planet. Cape Romaine National Wildlife Refuge. Every year during migration, hundreds of thousands of shorebirds descend on this refuge. Numbers so large that when they land, the beaches turn black. You cannot see the sand, just birds. The combination of geography, tidal patterns, and migration timing creates perfect conditions. Tides expose massive mudflats filled with invertebrates. Birds stop here to feed before continuing their journey. The only other place on Earth where this exact phenomenon happens? Delaware Bay. 2 places on the entire planet, and South Carolina is one of them. Number 10. A tree that covers half an acre. Johns Island, the angel oak. Estimated 400 to 500 years old, this tree was already ancient when the United States was founded, but age isn't even the impressive part. Here's what's extraordinary. The tree stands 65 feet tall, notable but not crazy. Its limbs stretch 187 feet from tip to tip. The canopy covers 17,000 square feet. That's roughly half an acre. The largest limb measures 11 feet around and stretches 89 feet from the trunk. This single tree covers more ground than most houses. I saw a time-lapse video someone made standing under it for an entire day, and the way the light shifts through that canopy is unreal, like being inside a living cathedral. Standing under it completely changes how you see trees. Number 11. The forest that becomes a lake 10 times a year. Congaree National Park. One of the largest intact old-growth forests in the United States. Trees over 150 feet tall, some over 500 years old. Here's what makes it unique. The forest floods an average of 10 times per year, not a little bit. Sometimes 10 feet of water covering everything. And that's what saved it. The flooding made it worthless for logging and development. When it floods, you can paddle through it by canoe. You glide between massive tree trunks rising out of dark water. The water reflects the trees, creating a perfect mirror world. One of the most primeval landscapes in eastern North America. Looks exactly like it did thousands of years ago. Even locals who've lived in South Carolina their whole lives often don't know this exists. Number 12. Trees older than medieval castles. Francis Bidler Forest, the largest remaining virgin stand of bald cypress and tupelo trees in the world. Some of these bald cypress trees are over 1,000 years old. Think about that. These trees were saplings when the Byzantine Empire was at its height. They watched the entire medieval period come and go. Already ancient when Christopher Columbus sailed to America. The forest sits in Sinkholes swamp, a blackwater ecosystem virtually unchanged for centuries. You're surrounded by living organisms older than any building in the Western Hemisphere. Number 13. Charleston now floods on sunny days. Here's something that'll shock you. South Carolina's coast isn't just low, it's actively sinking. Literally sinking at about 2 millimeters per year. Post-glacial subsidence. After the Ice Age, glaciers melted. The land they pressed down began rebounding upward in the north. Basic physics. When one end of a seesaw goes up, the other goes down. The south is going down. Combine that with rising sea levels, and Charleston has seen a 900% increase in tidal flooding since the 1950s. 900%. The city now floods during high tides even when there's no rain. They call it sunny day flooding or king tides. Streets become rivers. Businesses sandbag their doors on a perfectly clear, sunny day. My cousin sent me a photo last month of her street flooded. Zero rain, just high tide. Wild. The geography is literally changing beneath our feet. If you're enjoying this deep dive into South Carolina, subscribe right now. We're uncovering secrets like this across all 50 states, and you don't want to miss what we find next. Number 14. Thousands of mysterious holes no one can explain. Fly over South Carolina's coastal plain and you'll see them everywhere. Thousands of elliptical depressions, all pointing in the same northwest-southeast direction. Carolina Bays. Scientists still can't agree on how they formed. Some say meteor impacts. Others say wind and wave action during the Ice Age. Some suggest comet explosions in the atmosphere. But here's the truth. No one knows for certain. Some bays are filled with water year-round. Others only hold water seasonally. They range from a few acres to thousands of acres. Thousands of them, all aligned the same direction. All formed by some mysterious process thousands of years ago. We still don't know what created them. One of the great unsolved mysteries of American geography. Number 15. The beach where dead trees stand in the surf. Bull's Island. One of the most pristine barrier islands on the East Coast, almost completely undeveloped, accessible only by ferry. The northern end has Boneyard Beach, massive oak and pine trees bleached white by sun and salt, standing dead in the sand and surf. These aren't small trees, enormous trees that once stood hundreds of feet inland in a maritime forest. Then erosion happened. The ocean ate the land. The forest died. The trees remained, like skeletons of giants. You can walk among these massive dead trees standing in the waves. It's hauntingly beautiful and shows the raw, unstoppable power of coastal erosion. Only accessible during low tide in some areas. Won't be here in 20 years. The ocean's claiming it more every day. All right, we're halfway through and things are about to get stranger. Coming up, you'll discover a river older than the Nile that hasn't changed course in thousands of years. Hidden cave systems beneath the coastal plain. And a river so confused it loops back to within 200 feet of itself. Plus, in a few minutes, I'll tell you why South Carolina's mountains are older than bones. Literally older than the existence of bones themselves. If you're still here, drop a comment and let me know where you're watching from. Stay with me. This is where it gets really good. Number 16, the hidden cave system beneath your feet. Most people think of South Carolina as flat coastal plains and beaches. They have no idea there's an extensive cave system underground. Near Santee, there are limestone caves formed millions of years ago when South Carolina was covered by a shallow sea. Over time, groundwater dissolved the limestone, creating underground passages. The caves aren't open to the public, but spelunkers have explored miles of passages. Stalactites hanging from ceilings, stalagmites rising from floors, underground streams flowing through darkness. A hidden world exists beneath South Carolina that millions of visitors will never see. Number 17. A river older than ancient Egypt. The Black River is considered one of the oldest rivers in the world. It's a blackwater river, stained dark by tannins from decaying vegetation. Tea-colored appearance. Here's what's remarkable. It hasn't changed its course in thousands of years, maybe tens of thousands of years. The river follows the exact same path it did when woolly mammoths roamed North America. Along its banks grow bald cypress trees over 1,000 years old, some of the oldest living trees east of the Mississippi. This river's been flowing through the same channel since before recorded history began. Number 18, entire towns underwater. Lake Marion, South Carolina's largest lake, covers 110,000 acres. Lake Moultrie connects to it by canal. Together they form one of the largest freshwater systems in the South. These lakes didn't exist until the 1940s. They created them by damming the Santee River. When they did, the water flooded entire communities, forests, farms, even a town. It's all still down there. Roads, foundations, cemeteries. You can be out on Lake Marion in a boat and directly beneath you are remnants of someone's house, someone's street, someone's life. A submerged world just below the surface. Number 19, the river that can't decide where to go. The Little PD River has some of the most extreme meandering patterns of any river in America. The river twists and loops back on itself so severely that in some places you're only 200 feet from where you were 2 miles of river ago. From the air it looks insane, like a snake having a seizure. The river can't decide where it wants to go, so it just wanders in every direction. This happens because the coastal plain is so flat, there's almost no gradient. The river has no reason to flow in any particular direction, so it just meanders endlessly, creating these bizarre looping patterns. I looked up aerial footage and it's genuinely wild. Worth Googling. Number 20, a landscape frozen in time for 500 years. The Ace Basin, named for 3 rivers, covers over 350,000 acres, one of the largest undeveloped estuaries on the Atlantic coast. Looks almost exactly like it did 500 years ago. From the air, you see intricate patterns of salt marshes and tidal creeks stretching for miles with almost no human development. A maze of wetlands, barrier islands, and maritime forests, preserved by its remoteness and the difficulty of developing it. A time capsule. A landscape essentially unchanged for centuries. You could show this place to someone from the 1500s and they would recognize it. Honestly, researching this made me realize how much untouched wilderness still exists in places we never think about. South Carolina isn't on anyone's wilderness destination list, but it probably should be. Anyway. Number 21. Standing on rock older than bones. You can stand on rock that formed before bones existed as a biological structure. Sassafras Mountain, South Carolina's highest point at 3,554 feet. Not impressive by Western standards. But here's what'll blow your mind. This mountain is part of the Appalachian chain, which is over 480 million years old. 480 million. These mountains were once as tall as the Himalayas. Hundreds of millions of years of erosion wore them down. You're standing on some of the oldest rock formations on Earth. Older than trees, older than insects, older than fish, older than bones themselves. The first vertebrates with bones didn't appear until about 400 million years ago. These rocks predate that. You're literally standing on rock that formed before bones existed. Number 22. A 2,000-foot drop in just a few miles. Caesar's Head State Park sits on the Blue Ridge Escarpment, where the mountains dramatically drop away to the Piedmont below. The elevation change is 2,000 feet in just a few miles, one of the steepest drop-offs in the eastern United States. On clear days, you can see for 50 miles, mountains stretching to the horizon. But the escarpment also creates bizarre weather. Clouds form right at the cliff edge and pour over like a waterfall. Not water, clouds. It looks like clouds are cascading over the edge of the world. You won't believe your eyes when you see this in person. Number 23, a waterfall that cuts a mountain in half. Raven Cliff Falls plunges 420 feet, one of the tallest waterfalls in the eastern United States. What makes it unique is the water falls through a massive rock cleft, a narrow canyon carved through solid granite. The waterfall essentially cuts the mountain in half. The canyon echoes with the sound of falling water, amplifying it into a constant roar. In winter, parts of the waterfall freeze, creating massive ice formations that cling to the rock walls, columns of ice 50 feet tall. One of those hidden gems even South Carolina locals often don't know about. Number 24, the Giant's Table. Table Rock State Park, a mountain with a distinctive flat top and a dramatic cliff face that rises 2,000 feet. The rock is granite, over 400 million years old. Cherokee legend says the flat top was a giant's table. The name stuck. The cliff face is so sheer, it's become one of the premier rock climbing destinations in the southeast. Climbers come from all over to scale this ancient wall. From the top, you overlook a sea of mountain ridges stretching into North Carolina. No visible development for miles, just endless mountains. Number 25, over 50 hidden waterfalls. The Joukasee Gorges area, over 43,000 acres of rugged wilderness. Hidden within it are over 50 waterfalls. Many are in such remote locations they can only be reached by difficult hikes or by boat. Some are in gorges, so deep sunlight barely reaches them. During Prohibition, this area was so remote moonshiners used it as a hideout. Even today, parts remain virtually unexplored. There are waterfalls in these mountains that only a handful of people have ever seen. Number 26, rock from before life existed. Chauga Ridge, some of the oldest exposed rock in the eastern United States. This granite is over 500 million years old, survived multiple mountain building episodes, multiple ice ages, unimaginable erosion. Geologists study this area because the rocks provide clues about what Earth was like before complex life existed, before plants, before animals, before anything other than single-celled organisms. You're walking on rock that formed before plants colonized land, before there were forests, before there was soil as we know it, as close as you can get to walking on primordial Earth. Almost at the end, these final facts are some of the strangest. A lighthouse about to fall into the ocean, rock formations that look like they belong on Mars, and geographic features so unique they're designated National Natural Landmarks. Let's finish strong. If you made it this far, you're in the top percentage of viewers. Drop a comment and let everyone know you made it to the end. Number 27. A lighthouse racing against time. Hunting Island's historic lighthouse used to stand far inland. In the 1960s, over 200 feet of beach separated it from the ocean. Today, barely 50 feet remain. The island loses 15 feet of beach every year. Within decades, the lighthouse will be standing in the ocean. Number 28. Desert Rock in South Carolina. Peachtree Rock. Heritage Preserve has rock formations that look like Arizona, not South Carolina. Bizarre sandstone shapes, balanced rocks, caves. These are from an ancient ocean floor carved into strange formations by millions of years of erosion. So unique, it's a national natural landmark. Number 29. The invisible line that built cities. The fall line divides South Carolina where hard bedrock meets soft sediment. Rivers create waterfalls here, which is why cities like Columbia were built along this line. Furthest boats could travel upstream. You can literally see the geography change as you cross it. Number 30. 300 miles of shoreline on a small lake. Lake Keowee covers only 18,000 acres, but has over 300 miles of shoreline. How? The drowned river valley created a maze of coves and islands, one of the clearest lakes in South Carolina, and the intricate shoreline makes it feel massive. Number 31. 60 miles of continuous beach. The Grand Strand, a 60-mile uninterrupted beach, one of the longest on the East Coast, formed by sediment from rivers deposited by ocean currents. This geography created perfect tourism conditions, making it one of America's top beach destinations. Number 32. A beach in constant battle. Folly Beach loses sand so fast the town pumps in millions of dollars of new sand every few years. The island sits at an angle to currents pulling sand away constantly. Without intervention, parts would disappear into the ocean, a never-ending battle against nature. Number 33. Watching two rivers become one. In Colombia, the Broad and Saluda rivers meet to form the Congaree. You can actually see them joining with different colored waters. The Saluda runs clear. The Broad carries sediment, a visible line where two rivers become one right before your eyes. Number 34. 750,000 birds turn the sky black. Every summer, Baum Island hosts one of North America's largest purple martin roosts. Up to 750,000 birds gather before migrating to South America. When they take flight together, the sky literally darkens. The sound is deafening, lasts for weeks. One of the greatest wildlife spectacles in the eastern United States, happening every year in South Carolina. Number 35, the only tea plantation in North America. Here's the final one, and it's surprisingly chill compared to everything else. South Carolina is home to the only commercial tea plantation in North America, the Charleston Tea Garden on Wadmalaw Island. They've been growing tea here since 1987, and not just a little bit. This is a real working plantation with hundreds of acres of tea plants. Here's what makes it possible: the climate, the soil, the combination of heat and humidity creates conditions similar to tea-growing regions in Asia. Most people think tea only grows in China, India, Sri Lanka. Turns out South Carolina works too. I had no idea this existed until I started researching this video. American-grown tea in South Carolina. Who knew? And there you have it. 35 wild geography facts about South Carolina. This small state lets you experience a tropical barrier island in the morning, hike ancient mountains by afternoon, and paddle through a primeval swamp by evening. Few places on Earth offer that kind of diversity. And the geography isn't static. Coastlines are sinking, islands are changing, sinkholes are opening, forests are flooding. South Carolina is a living laboratory of geographic processes happening in real time. If you enjoyed this, subscribe right now. We're uncovering hidden secrets like this across all 50 states. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single video. Drop a comment and tell me which fact shocked you the most. Thanks for watching, I'll see you in the next one.